listening to The Cell on WGRN 94.1, brought to you by the Faith Thomas Foundation. Hi, this is Felice Thomas, and I want to welcome everyone to The Cell on WGRN 94.1. I'd like to say hello to my producer today. That happens to be Mr. Ernest Kelly.
Hello.
And I have a guest with me tonight, and her name is Annie Womack with OSHA.
Greetings, everyone.
And tonight we have some special guests with us, and they are members or representatives from HandsOn of Central Ohio. We have with us today Miss Stephanie Sparrow Hughes, and we also have Robynne. Is it Watson?
Yes, it is.
How are you ladies doing this evening?
Great,
We're
thank
doing
you.
fantastic.
Great. I want to tell you a little bit about Stephanie. Stephanie, like I said, the HandsOn, and she's the Senior Manager of Corporate and Community Volunteerism on HandsOn Central Ohio. Ms. Hughes partnered with companies to create volunteer team building efforts for employees to improve community needs. She engages community groups of all ages with national days of service projects and ongoing civic engagement events. Additionally, she builds community collaborations with nonprofit organizations through networking events. Ms. Hughes is passionate about civil engagement and has served on a number of advisory boards to benefit youth mentoring programs and senior citizens. She currently serves as the president-elect for FCGHS. What does that stand for?
Franklin County Genealogy Society.
That is right. I'm going to have to talk to you about that a little bit more, because you're also part with the Historical Society,
Yes,
correct?
I am. Mm-hmm.
Great. We also have here with us Miss Robynne Watson. Robynne grew up on the west side of town, which is known as Frankton and the Bottoms. She graduated from Columbus Alternative High School and received her degree from Ohio Dominican University and the HBCU, Wilberforce University. Okay. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
That's
nice.
like in Dayton, isn't it?
Yes, really.
Oh, yeah. In order to address the issues of hunger in various communities, she's helped to establish one of the largest food pantries in Columbus, and for long-term stability, became a certified master urban farmer through the Ohio State University. You got to tell me a little bit about that, because when I was reading that, I was like, that seems really interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, and basically, she became an ambassador with HandsOn Central Ohio for her community because she cared about what was going on in her community, and she felt these services would be beneficial for the individuals living in her community. It's such a pleasure to have both of you with us today.
Thank you so much.
Thank
It
you.
really is. Before we, really get into it, did any of y'all go to the Rib Fest this weekend?
Nope, too much pork for me.
Too much pork. Did y'all go this weekend?
No, I didn't make it this weekend.
You didn't make it? Well, neither did I. I was just trying to do a little small talk, break the ice
Right.
a little
Well, that's
bit.
nice.
What do you call them, icebreakers or something like that?
Yeah.
I just thought I'd loosen you guys up a little bit just to, ask this question. What I'd like to know, and for our listeners to know, is how long has HandsOn been, when they were developed, and how long they've been around?
Absolutely. HandsOn Central Ohio began back in the mid-'70s, so we've been around for quite some time. It started as a call center for information and referral, so it was really primarily used for individuals that are in need of any kind of social service referral back in the day. So we've been around for about 40 years now.
Wow.
And from actually taking calls as a call center, we expanded to Call VAC. So some people may remember our original name, Call VAC. Mm-hmm. And the VAC is Volunteer Action Center. So we added a volunteer component to really solve some of the community needs that we really found as people were calling in and they were in need of different services, whether it was referrals to pantries, referrals for utility assistance, for rental assistance. We found that there's a lot of needs in the community. So that's what really HandsOn was really founded for, providing those services, referrals, and then also taking action, really bringing neighborhoods and communities together to solve some of the critical needs in our community.
I'm sitting up here really kind of surprised because when I asked the question, how long have you been established, I was not expecting to hear you say 40 years.
Oh, absolutely. We've actually had two different other names. We had Call VAC, and then many people remember us by First Link.
First Link.
So a lot of people remember First Link. HandsOn Central Ohio, we've been around for quite some time, but our other two names were Callback and First Link.
Okay, so with all three combined together, you're saying about
Yes,
40 years.
still one agency.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah,
We
that's-
just changed our name.
Well, I like hands-on.
Okay.
You know, because it says exactly what it is. You are hands-on.
Absolutely.
You know, I happened to meet hands-on by doing some community, work myself. I happened to be at Faith Ministries doing the sickle cell booth, and I happened to meet Robynne at that particular event. And it was when I talked to her that I realized that there were some services that my sister could use with her daughter. And then that's when I kind of became interested in hands-on and what it is that you guys do. So what are some of the services that you guys offer?
We offer a 211 call center, and that's available 24 hours a day. So we have our team is available to answer calls anytime, again, day or night. And one of our primary needs are referrals to food pantries. So a lot of people are calling for referrals to food pantries, utility assistance, rental assistance, but there's a number of different services and referrals that we provide. It may be back to school supplies. It may be summer camps or summer programs, programs for senior citizens. So it's really a wide range of calls that we receive throughout the year, and it's really an opportunity for people to learn about the different services that are available.
Well, I know that as a mandate, because we are a state agency, Ohio Sickle Cell and Health Association, that we must register with HandsOn. We used to register with First Link. So all of our services are also part of that call-in center
network
for Central Ohio. And then we also network with the other partnerships outside of Central Ohio, but also across the state of Ohio. So you will find a sickle cell part of that registry as well for sickle cell services and support services for sickle cell clientele.
Yeah.
It's part of HandsOn.
I think down here it's the substance abuse is what I ended up thinking about. A niece of mine, that is what I gave my sister information on. And I see mental health resources here also. And we just did a 2-part segment on mental health, anxiety, and depression. And I was at another event that dealt with mental health. And that's very important because we have a lot of homeless people that suffer from mental health. So I want to know a little bit about the urban farmer.
Oh, the Master Urban Farmer Program.
Yeah.
Well, it's basically what my response was to making sure that myself and my family can address what we actually have, particularly in the Near East area, which are food deserts. And I'm sure, a lot of communities may definitely identify with that. There are quite a bit of initiatives that are going on in various parts of our city. But what interested me is that you actually became certified. And again, that was through the Ohio State University. And what it taught me was that I can actually sustain myself and my family by actually utilizing what we have, which is our hands, our hearts, and of course the dirt, so that we can grow all sorts of things, Miss Felice.
Well, I'm finding out a lot about you too. I definitely want to get into the fact that you're part of the Ohio Historical Society. I might not get too much of it, at this session, but I would like to try to, learn a little bit more about that too, because I am interested in that. But getting back to hands-on, you're an ambassador.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's the position that you were doing. And when I read up on it in regards to ambassadors, that you can volunteer,
Yes.
services, and you can also become an ambassador to represent HandsOn. Can you tell me about that?
Sure. Well, a neighborhood ambassador, what we do is we can actually have the capacity to serve in our own communities, thereby helping the residents, our neighbors, access information about community resources. So just as you stated how we met one another, ambassadors, we attend community events and fairs, and then we also distribute information about hands-on services. and then speak to lovely ladies such as yourself so that we can learn more about what our community actually has to offer. As an ambassador, HandsOn has a saying that if you can change your neighborhood, we can definitely transform our city. And so that's exactly what we aim to do as neighborhood ambassadors and volunteers.
I just have a question. As an ambassador, what did you see going on within your community that made you take that step with HandsOn?
Well, impressive to me was the fact, number one, that HandsOn as an agency sent a wonderful representative by the name of Allison Davis out to a computer training program that I participated with. Wonderful program by the name of IC Stars. But Miss Allison came in and explained to us what it is that HandsOn actually could do for the community and perhaps individually. And once she made the call to say, but we need some help, then I definitely could understand that.
Okay. Stephanie, what other positions have you held in HandsOn? What are all the positions that you've held?
As far as with HandsOn Central Ohio, I'm currently serving as the corporate and community volunteer senior manager. And what I do is I work with the neighborhood ambassadors, as Ms. Robynne indicated, to really provide them the resources to share in their community. And it's a really outstanding program. We piloted this program about 2 years ago, and since then it has grown to over 160 ambassadors that are in all Central Ohio communities, really sharing that information and really taking care of their own neighbors, taking care of one another. They attend different various events like the Fam Jam that's coming up in August, National Night Out, which is an activity in an organization that really helps bring neighborhoods together. So it's a really outstanding program to really let people know that someone cares. And it's absolutely a leadership program for volunteers to really take a lead in their own communities.
Yeah. With that being said, what we're getting ready to do is take an identification break. This is the cell. And we appreciate our listeners listening to WGRN 94.1. And I just need to give you guys an update on a couple of events which are taking place. Like Stephanie said, Fam Jam's taking place on August 4th, I do believe it is. With that also being said, September's coming up fast, and which is Sickle Cell Month. And the Faith Thomas Foundation will be hosting this 5th annual Red Diamond Gala on September the 7th. It's Friday, September the 7th at the Creekside Conference Center. And our topic this year is cure or no cure, which basically the question is, does bone marrow cure sickle cell? So we know that there's no universal cure for sickle cell, but however, we feel that it's an important topic, and we hope to have a very educational moment in time, or time and moment, with that subject. In addition to that, we'll have some silent auctions going on. We have a DJ, we have a reception, and we have a dance going on afterwards. So it's educational, but it's also going to be packed with fun. So hopefully you can make it. You can learn more about our Red Diamond Gala at www.faiththomasfoundation.org, or you can always call me at 614-476-6304, and it's also on our Facebook page, Faith Thomas Foundation. On September the 15th, OSHA has the Sickle Cell Walk. Annie, won't you tell us about that?
Yes, this is our statewide walk. So it's our run, walk, and jog. Not only will it happen in Columbus, but also on that same date, there will be a walk in Dayton and Akron. And we've just signed on Fremont, which is outside of Sandusky, for a 4th walk. We also have a walk on the 8th, which is a Sunday in Cincinnati. So what we're trying to do is have statewide events all over the state of Ohio and bang out and just do advocacy for sickle cell disease. So September the 15th, September the 8th, Red Diamond Gala, National Sickle Cell Month. We're just all in there trying to get that information out and advocacy about sickle cell disease, sickle cell trait, and other hemoglobin blood disorders.
Yes, amen. Annie, there's a fashion show or something coming up too, isn't it?
Oh, I'm remiss. August the 18th, right here on Woodland Avenue, right around the corner from this beautiful radio station, there will be a fashion show dedicated for sickle cell research, and all the models will be sickle cell patients. So those would be people that actually have sickle cell disease, showing off their latest fashion right over at the Woodland Center. You can find out more information about that by calling our offices at 614-228-0157 or on our website at ohiosicklecell.org.
Since we're sitting up here giving radio identifications and phone numbers and websites, HandsOn, can you please provide us how people can reach you?
Absolutely. HandsOnCentralOhio.org. And we also have a volunteer site, VolunteerCentralOhio.org, where you can find out all about how you can give back to your own community.
And there's an app that you have. What is it called? 211. You can download it or something.
Can you download our app? Just go to our website, and the information is there. And it's an excellent resource. Back in the day, we had actual physical manual that you could have. Now we have a mobile app, which is a lot easier, so people can access resources. You can access different agencies, or by your zip code, or by service type that you're looking for, and it's a great way to access those resources on your own.
Did you say that you had 160 ambassadors?
Yes, we do.
That right there shows me the commitment level within the community, that people really do care.
Absolutely.
Because it's volunteer work and they're out there. So, Robynne, I just gained a little bit more respect for you, dear heart.
Oh yeah, she's
that's nice. I'll take it how I can get
sharing
it.
her time.
Yes,
I'll take it how I can get
Yeah,
it.
and when we hosted our health fair, she, did come and, represent HandsOn
Yes, ma'am.
for us, so that was great there. The volunteerism, as what it says that you're in charge of. So what are some of the things, what are some of the things? I see my brother's keeper here. What are some of the other things they can be involved in?
There's all types of volunteer opportunities. So you can actually volunteer based on what level you're interested in. Whether you're interested in a one-time opportunity, whether serving a meal, really working with food insecurity in our community, or you may want to be a big brother or big sister, or serving as a mentor or tutor for a young child. It could be delivering meals for senior citizens. Working in an urban garden. There's all types of different opportunities for all ages. Our next event for HandsOn that we're having, our National Days of Service, is to honor 9/11 victims at the Ohio State House. That will take place on September 10th. And that's open to everyone in the community. Young or old can come out, and what we do is we place flags on the State House lawn for the 9/11 victims of the terrorist attacks. We'll have fire, police, first responders there, and government officials to really take a moment to pause and honor that sacred event.
I'm really touched by that. I'm gonna have to definitely make sure that I can see if I can attend that. And if our listeners out there, if you get a chance to go, please go and support HandsOn on this particular event that they're getting ready to have. And like I said, I'm sitting up here looking at scanning some of your services, and I see utility assistance.
Oh, absolutely. We provide referrals to different nonprofits. So different nonprofits really register with our agency so they can have their services listed. And then clients can call and find out about the various services that are available.
I'm seeing holiday program, tax preparation assistance.
We also have a chat and text, so if you can call in to get a referral for a food pantry, once you're established in our system, you can just chat and text to get that referral for your food pantry assistance.
That is pretty good to have that on tax when you're doing your taxes or certain other things, applications that you're on. The first thing you do is they say, "Do you want to chat?"
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm like,
so we try to make it as easy as possible.
I'm just saying,
they
with
come a long
we
way
try to
from
make it as easy as
the
possible.
big purple book from First
absolutely.
Link.
It was a purple
It
book.
used to be a purple First Link.
It used to be a really big book that you could really
that you
all
have to go
the
through and get all the resources. So they've come a long way.
So now we have a mobile app. You can chat and text. We want to make it as easy as possible.
Yes.
Call 211.
There you go. I like that. Yeah,
That's
211. That's why I said, isn't that? I thought it was something because she was, Robynne was showing me, and she says, it's like 911. Are you Dallas? 211.
211 is for social services.
And I thought that was pretty great. Wow. Robynne, what else can you, I would like each of you, if you can, tell me about something that you might have experienced personally with an individual who were using your services that really kind of, touched you.
I know for my behalf, Miss Felice and Miss Stephanie as well, because neighborhood ambassadors actually do work within our own neighborhoods and our communities, I think sometimes we as neighbors tend to overlook who it is that we actually have living next door to us, Perhaps we think we may know, but you really don't know until you have a conversation. And this brings to mind a young lady who is a neighbor of mine. We were having just a generalized conversation. Then all of a sudden it turned to a situation where our conversation led to her letting me know that she had no food in her house. This is a young lady with a young child, and it really just threw me off. Anything when it comes to the food, Miss Felice,
yeah,
I have to feel as if I have a NA for neighborhood ambassador cape on my back. You understand? Right there. But in all seriousness, because food is serious, right?
It is.
So I went ahead and had a quick conversation with her and said, I'll bring you food out. I don't think she believed that. I think she just thought it was a brush off type situation. I ended up coming out. Her friends came over. And as she was leaving, she said to me, you know what, you're going to make me cry, Miss Robynne. And I said, why would that be, girl? And then she said, oh, no, because I never thought in this neighborhood, and again, I live on the Near East Side, this neighborhood, that there would be people who looked like me, who cared about me. And that really touched me, Miss Felice, Miss Stephanie, Miss Annie. It really did. And I'm thinking to myself again, if you can go ahead and do what you need to do as far as your neighborhood, you'll definitely transform our city. And so I try to do just my little bit each day, whether that's just a conversation with someone lovely like Miss Felice in the Faith Thomas Foundation, finding out information, keeping in contact, of course, with Miss Stephanie and Allison of HandsOn. It's all the rent that we pay, right?
Yeah, definitely. What do you got for us, Stephanie?
Yeah, I want to thank Miss Robynne. I mean, you are such a phenomenal neighborhood ambassador, and that's what our neighborhood ambassadors are doing out in the community. Another story that we have is a neighborhood ambassador was simply getting her hair cut, and she noticed someone who was, disarray and really kind of upset. So she asked her, hey, what's going on? And she was a veteran, and she says, I need food in my home. I don't have food at home. So it was a similar story, and the neighborhood ambassador not only was able to get her food, but she also had a service dog, and she was able to get food for her dog and some rental assistance as well. So those are some type of the things that our neighborhood ambassadors are doing in the community. It doesn't take a lot of time to be a neighborhood ambassador. Whatever you have to give, we do provide training. It's free training. It's 2 hours of training, and we provide that not only to neighborhood ambassadors, but anyone in the community that's interested in learning about HandsOn and the services that we provide. We do have free trainings that you can attend, and those are listed on our website.
Okay. Something, I'm sitting here listening to the both of you, and as a person with a neighborhood ambassador and any volunteer, that there is such gratification when an individual helps someone else with whatever's going on in their lives, and that you're able to do that. It is such a peace and good feeling, that you get. And Annie is a server. I mean, when I read her bio, it's just like, wow. I mean, ever since she started, knee high, she has been out in that community doing something, So, I mean, I know that I enjoy, when I'm helping other people. And you got me thinking about what I might do, myself personally, for HandsOn. And I'm going to ask you in the future maybe to come to one of our board meetings and just talk to the rest of my board members about, ways that they might be able to possibly communicate. But not just that, but to add on to their arsenal, about your organization. Because sometimes you can have organizations sitting right there in front of you, and you're not really paying attention to what the organization does. Just like she said, you be in home in your neighborhood and you don't know what's going on, right next door to you. But, we go to these health fairs and we go to these events and we visit the booths or we walk right by the booths and not really pay attention, you know, because most of the time people come to the booth, they want to get the free gift, you know, and keep on going.
But how can you give? How can you serve?
Exactly. You know, they just want that free gift and they keep on going. I usually try to use my free gift to open up my conversation is, do you know anybody that has, you know, while they reaching in, I'm like, you know, kind of, you know, do you know anyone that have sickle cell, or you know, do you know what sickle cell is, you know, before they take away, you know, so that at least can say the word sickle cell, and hoping that that plants a seed for them to say, yes, I know someone, or no, I don't, you know, to try to open up that dialogue and conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how much more time you have, but volunteerism is where it starts. You know, you start, people want to walk in and run a company or walk in and own something. So, you know, the way that we start is from the bottom up. And that's how communities and neighborhoods are grown, from the bottom up. And so it takes all of us, each one of us, to start a community to change the world.
Yeah. Robynne, before we close, do you have anything that you want to say?
I just want to say thank you so very much to the Faith Thomas Foundation and all of my fellow guests. It's been such a pleasure, Miss Felice. You know, ever since meeting you, it's always been something fantabulous and fantastic all at the same time. That's why I couldn't get the words out. But it's always something lovely in dealing with your foundation, and I definitely wish you all of the best. I definitely know you'll grow, particularly with the help of, you know, these people that you have surrounding you. I also wanted to state that as an ambassador, we can go ahead and we can choose when, where, and how we volunteer. But I think we all, again, even if we don't have the title of neighborhood ambassador, still have an obligation to go ahead and help and serve. So thank you again for inviting us here.
Wow.
It's been a blast.
Thank you.
And Stephanie, do you have anything?
Yeah, I would like to thank you so much for inviting me here. And I would like to really take a moment to invite everyone to give back and serve as a volunteer. We can use volunteers of all ages, from 3-year-olds to 100-year-olds. There are projects and opportunities to give back to the community. Just visit our website, volunteercentralohio.org, and we will engage you with an opportunity. And we're always looking for companies to sponsor volunteer events as well.
Oh, that's great. Miss Annie, do you have anything you wish to say?
Turning it back over to you, Miss Hostess with the mostest.
Oh, well, my goodness. Well, you know, like I said, September is September Sickle Cell Month, and the Faith Thomas Foundation is hosting on Friday, September the 7th, their 5th annual Red Diamond Gala. And once again, you can find that information on our webpage, faiththomasfoundation.org, on our Facebook page. And once again, if you have any questions that you would, you know, want to ask the Faith Thomas Foundation about sickle cell, you can reach out to OSHA. You can also call, you know, in addition to calling Annie, you can call me at 614-476-6304, and I'll try to direct you in the area that you need to be directed in. And with that being said, what I like to say is I like to thank HandsOn. And I'd like to thank everyone from HandsOn. And so what is the phone number you call?
211.
Yay! And with that being said, thank you, Ernie, for being my producer tonight.
Thank you, Ernie.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Annie, for being my guest co-host. Woohoo, Annie! And once again, thank you, Stephanie, and thank you, Robynne. And with that being said, this is Felice. Peace out. Well, that's the end of today's show. I want to thank you for listening to The Cell on WGRN 94.1. You can find us on Facebook or at faiththomasfoundation.org for more information on our upcoming events. Join us every Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. here on WGRN.